Hello and welcome to Tech and You. And like I always say, this is the coolest tech show in town.
And this is Gaurav Preti and I am Richa Kapoor. And this is how this week's episode looks like.
Phablets are back, this time from Asus. We have the Asus Zenfone 6.
And we have Kim on the show, Kim Kardashian. And what is she doing on the show? Well, you'll find out.
And in our gaming segment, we are reviewing Murdered Soul Suspect. No, Richa, there was a time when they used to say bigger is better, and then there was a time when compact was better, and now again bigger is better.
Gaurav, out here we're talking about phablets, aren't we?
Yeah.
And our Asus is also out with the latest phablet, and that's called the Zenfone 6. It's a 6-inch phablet, very good, and we here have it for a review. Go ahead and take a look at that.
But Richa, you know, when I became big, they never called me better. They said I was fat.
You take a look at that.
This is a new phone from Asus. It's more of a phablet. It's huge. It's affordable. Asus recently launched a series of Zenfone 4, 5 and 6. And we think that this is the sweet spot among all of them. And yes, it's the cheapest way to actually own a 6-inch phone. Like any 6-inch phone, the Asus Zenfone 6 is very large. Its rear is plastic and comes in red and gold, and as well as the more standard black or white. Common to many larger phones, it's slimmer than its Zenfone brothers at 9.9 mm thickness. It weighs about 200 grams, which is about the norm for a phone of this size. The bit of Zenfone series visual flair is the area of shiny concentric circles below the screen. It's just there for the look, as the soft key virtual buttons sit just above this bit. So all in all, big is beautiful here. The Zenfone 6 runs on Asus new Zen user interface skin on top of Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. Zen UI is Asus' idea of a simplified, easy-to-use interface. It's the Intel Inside logo on the rear of the Zenfone 6 suggests there's a 2 GHz dual-core Intel Atom Z2580 chip fitted inside. In terms of memory, well, we have got 2 GB of RAM on board, and the size of the internal memory is 16 GB. In any case, we do know that there is a micro SD slot available, good for up to 64 GB on top of whatever Asus has seen fit to install. The Zenfone 6 has an advertised talk time of 28 hours, which is significantly longer than an average of 8 hours. In terms of battery capacity, which is the best indicator of overall battery life, it holds about 3300 mAh, a massive battery capacity for a smartphone. Now, if we talk about the camera quality of this phone, well, it's the most potent one among the Zen series that's been launched, the 4 and 5. This one's got 13 megapixel rear snapper, autofocus and LED flash. And if you talk about the video quality, well, we did manage to record a video, and when we previewed it, it came out to be decent, but the only thing that was missing was the detailing. Asus had a little else to share about the camera hardware itself, though it did take the opportunity to play up its Pixelmate camera software. Pixelmate is supposed to come in handy, especially in low-light situations. As per usual, there's a 2 megapixel camera at the front, good for video calls, but little else. Now that's the selfie mode in this phone. You can see that the camera, which is in the front, has actually given a focus for a selfie also. So that's an improvement in this phone. And now let's just take a selfie. So in terms of performance, Zenfone 6 works smoothly during daily use. App open and closed rather quickly. Web browsing was a really blazing experience, and also the gaming experience was just too awesome. Zenfone 6 also managed to play all the videos with TrueEdit without any issues, besides the detailing part. So Asus did manage to make a decent phone that's good looking, has good hardware, good performance, good camera quality. And above all, if we take a look at the phablets in the same category at a price of rupees 16,999, this one
at high because of some flaws. Having said that, it does offer those spooky, refreshing elements. If nothing else, it offers a blueprint for those big budgeted adventure games for future.
I've come face to face with death more times than I can count. Salem PD detective. It's my job to catch killers.
Murdered plays out almost like a particularly robust visual novel, with your role being to facilitate the presentation of the narrative.
I never saw.
As Ronan investigates first his own murder and then several others, he travels from location to location searching for clues and trying to piece together what they might mean.
Grand larceny and assault with a deadly weapon.
But just when he'd started turning things around, he lost everything, including his life.
Since the character is not alive, he cannot touch anything, which is really annoying. He can only gather some information by possessing people, see through their eyes, and sometimes even influence their actions. Once you've collected enough clues, you will be asked a question, such as which piece of evidence indicates the killer's next location, or which items are most relevant to the crime that took place. These quizzes feels as if we're playing some underage games.
The one that stopped you. Bring back the witch trials and kill all those innocent girls.
You think I'm the Bell Killer? Are you insane? I've never killed anyone. You gotta help me. What is this place? We gotta get out of here.
Oh, we gotta get out of here. All of a sudden, we're buds.
Murdered plays things differently, forcing you to hide in dusk tears. Shadow left by other souls and pounce on the demons when their backs are turned. Dusk tears won't keep you hidden forever, as the demons have a mean trick of ripping them apart to spill you out. So there's a nice element of cat and mouse at play. Beyond the main storyline, you'll also find side missions, some of which simply involve revealing hidden ghostly objects to unlock the tale behind them, and some of which involve helping other tortured souls with their dilemmas so that they can take their walk into the light. These work like mini investigations and add an interesting counterpoint to your own hunt. You can piece together the facts behind a drink-driving disaster or help a distraught ghost understand how and why they died.
Turn around. You're under arrest.
Talking about the graphics, the city of Salem is well captured, and there's a strong essence of true history. The gameplay isn't all too bad either, dragging you from one scene of investigation to the next with slightly more action-oriented sequences working to space them out. Running around town or places of interest is fluid, and the ghostly ability to walk through walls is great. However, you will notice a gameplay glitch at times. Sometimes player movements are not related to what they are talking about.
You scourge of Salem, it is time to pay for your sins!
This can't be happening. You want to use memories against me? You can play at that game.
The more you appreciate the way the game avoids many of the tropes that are continually wheeled out by the legions of identikit action games. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite live up to its initial promise.
Will acquire new and more powerful abilities. Abilities that will help him traverse and survive the dusk world to bring him closer to the truth about his murder. Why him? Why that night? Was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
The game tries its best to get all the good ideas into the game. However, it fails to reach that high because of some flaws. Having said that, it does offer those spooky, refreshing elements. If nothing else, it offers a blueprint for those big budgeted adventure games for future.
You know, Gaurav, my phone bill is so much, I'm so worried. Like half my salary, actually practically all my salary is going to go into it.
Yeah, you know, Keshav was facing the same problem. So that is why he went on this quest to find out how he can save his mobile bill. And here are a few apps that he discovered. And you know what you can do, Richa? Just log into Office Wi-Fi, man. You'll save money.
That's a great idea.
A smartphone is not a smartphone until it has an internet connection. You need to download all those apps and surf through social networking websites. However, this costs a lot of money. 3G is slow and data plan costs are too high.
My phone bill amounts to 1,500 per month.
My phone bill is generally around 2,000 bucks.
Well, I make a lot of STD and ISD calls, so my phone bill is always around 1,500 to 2,000.
Don't you worry, we have such 6 apps that can help you save on your phone bill.
What? Are you serious? Are you kidding?
Half, really?
That will be great, man.
First is the good old Skype. Now Skype, as you know, is a premium voice over IP service and instant messaging app that allows users to make free voice and video calls. You can also record life's everyday moments and share them with the people who matter most with free and unlimited video messaging over Skype. Next in line is Line. Well, there are no limits when you're talking to someone special, and for that, there's an instant messaging application for which you can also make free voice calls and hold free audio and video conferences with ease. Viber. Now connect easily with anyone in the world. The application is a free instant messaging app that allows you to make free voice calls, and since users are registered with their phone number, Viber's Viber Out feature allows them to call on landline numbers with minimal charges. Next is not WhatsApp but WeChat. WeChat stands as the first app in the world in terms of users and download. It's a free messaging and calling application that allows you to easily connect with family and friends across borders. It also has a look around feature that lets you search for nearby WeChat users and add them for chatting. This one is available mostly for all platforms. Google Hangouts. Now it's a free voice call and video chat service from Google that provides both one-on-one and group calls with up to 10 people at a time. One of the most essential features of Google Hangout is that it supports the concept of screen sharing, which can be very useful and helpful most of the times. And last but not the least, we have Nimbus, which is again a free voice call and messaging application for the connected generation. Nimbus combines the power of internet and mobile communication into one, which lets you share files on any mobile devices for free. There's also a feature called Nimbus Out, which offers cheap international calls to your friends anywhere in the world. So yes, download these apps and start saving money.
You know, Gaurav, I've discovered this robot called Jibo. He's the first of his kind of social robot. He's so cute. He's small. He's just 11 inches. And he's very, very nice. He can talk, he can sing, and he can even dance.
Cool. What did you say the name is?
Jibo.
Oh, Jibo, mere lal.
We always talk about social media, but have you ever thought about a social robot? Yes, that one sounds very interesting and also very simple, but ask the developers, it's not that simple, but extremely cute. And that is the one we are talking about today, Jibo. It's a social robot. Go ahead and take a look.
Small structure, big personality. Family robot Jibo hits the market. He stands only 11 inches tall, but Jibo makes a big impression the moment you meet him.
Hi, Jibo.
Jibo is the world's first family robot. It has a round base that plugs into a standard AC outlet, a slightly cone-shaped midsection, and a round head with a flat front that sits on top of it. That dark, round face feature a 5.7-inch screen. Jibo can sing and dance. He can greet you and remind you to call your mother. But Jibo's potential extends far beyond engaging in casual conversation and completing daily tasks.
Thanks, Jibo.
Jibo is not an appliance, it's a companion, one that can interact and react with its human owner in a way that delight instead of disturb. Jibo supports the human experience but does not try to be human. The relatively consumer-friendly price point comes courtesy of using things like a mobile CPU and a standard 5.7-inch phablet display, which of course provides the added benefit of a touchscreen. As you might expect, it can take video and picture on your command. There's some more interesting parts in Jibo, like the touch sensor on its head. More importantly, Jibo skirts way around the uncanny valley. There's little in that you can be confused for a human. A very social reaction, one that we understood and to some extent accept. Jibo is connected to internet via Wi-Fi and will benefit from a cloud-based update system. The SDK will allow third parties to build new tools that work with Jibo and utilize some of its scripts to build custom interaction. Speaking of scripts, Jibo runs on Linux and it's programmed in JavaScript, which should make the act of introducing new responses pretty easy.
owners will be able to create and upload their own emotions, which will appear on screen. When you bring Jibo home, it will guide you through getting it on your Wi-Fi network and will do everything it can to get to know you, starting by registering your face and voice, asking you for questions and explaining what it can do for you. Now, with Jibo at home, you might never feel alone.
Hey, call me when you're home.
Better make that takeoff for two, Jibo.
In this new age now, it just seems nothing is impossible. And taking a look at Jibo, all I can say is that no human is ever going to feel lonely ever again, and things would just get simpler with time.
So, Richard Kapoor, what's happening in the world of technology?
Amitabh Bachchan is going to tell you all.
AB, baby.
Take a look.
And we finally witnessed the launch of LG's G3. Yes, I showed you G3 exclusively in a last episode and promised you that I'll get to you more once it's finally launched in India, and the day is here. Yes, before I tell you all about G3, what I would like to show you is something very interesting. Imagine Amitabh Bachchan talking tech.
It is absolutely love at first sight. A sleek, modern design that suggests understated style rather than shouting ostentatious opulence. The second design attribute is G3's hidden curves. Although it is buttonless, the sides certainly convey a clean, polished look. Now, this is what I call style with substance. Who says that sleek curves weren't just intended to attract envious glances? To understand the final design attribute, we need to look at the G3's back cover. The use of a metallic skin provides a sophisticated look and feel, whilst the matte overlay helps the G3 stay clean and fingerprint-free.
Like you just saw, that this wasn't a normal launch. It had more to it. It had Big B, who added on to the whole event. And so, G3 had an Indian entry in a Big B way. The weight of G3 finally got over, and by the looks of things, it's very much worth the wait. The phone is simple and smart. From its stunning screen to its stylish build, this is premium device through and through. It has a 5.5-inch Quad HD IPS LCD screen with a pixel density of 538 ppi. It has 1080p screen, so this could be a huge selling point for the G3 and puts it above most of the competition in the display department. It is powered by a quad-core Snapdragon 801 processor, 2 or 3 GB of RAM, depending on whether you plump up for the 16 GB or a 32 GB model, and an Adreno 330 GPU. As expected, the LG G3 will ship with Android 4.4 KitKat and will be overlaid with LG's Optimus user interface. It's a different version of it to what we've seen before. The whole look has been changed to give it a flatter, circular and less childish icons, while there's also a big new feature in the form of Smart Notice. The LG G3 also includes knock code, which isn't a new thing as we've seen it already on the LG handsets. Moving on to the camera, LG G3 has a 13-megapixel camera with some improvements, as it now has a dual LED flash, OIS Plus and a laser autofocus. The front-facing camera is a rather more humble with 2.5 megapixel offering.
The LG G3 brings a refreshingly new way of taking selfies. Let's take a look. You simply raise your hand in front of the camera. It signifies you're ready to take your photo. The camera then counts down up to 3, giving you time to pose for your picture. And that's done. G3 is super for selfie.
Something different here is the quick circle case. It's something that deserves a mention in its own right. It does this by having a circular cutout across a portion of the screen, which alongside some circular widgets allows you to control everything from music to calls without ever having to open the case. And now, the price. Well, the LG G3 16GB is priced at Rs 47,990 and 32GB is priced at Rs 50,990.
Taiwanese device maker OPLUS has finally launched its OPLUS Zenfone 5 smartphone in India. However, the phone will be exclusively available only online on snapdeal.com. The OPLUS Zenfone 5 sports a 5-inch IPS OGS display. Powered by 1.3 GHz MediaTek quad-core processor, the phone has a 1 GB RAM and 16 GB internal storage, which can be expanded via microSD card. The phone features a 8-megapixel camera with LED flash and a 2-megapixel front-facing camera and is priced at Rs 7,999. The newly launched Zenfone 5 will have to face competition from plethora of affordable Android smartphones in India, which includes devices like Redmi S from Xiaomi, Motorola Moto E, Micromax Canvas Unite 2, Lava Iris X1 and others that come at the same price range and specification. But we have to wait and see if the Zenfone 5 can grab hold in the market. Kaspersky Lab recently announced the launch of Kaspersky Kids at the Ryan International School campus in Mumbai. The program was launched by none other than Kaspersky Lab's brand ambassador Sachin Tendulkar and chairman and CEO Eugene Kaspersky. The beloved god of cricket also presented his autographed bat at the program. Under the program, the Ryan schools will support Kaspersky Lab's effort to educate their students so that they can enjoy a safer internet experience. Alright, so that brings us to the end of another edition of TechINU. We hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please write into us at
TechINU@newsx.com. You can even write into us on our Facebook page. And if you want to watch our previous episodes, log on to newsx.com. And do not forget to follow us on Twitter.
Yes, with that, it's a wrap. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.